What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 357 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined as always on occasion by my mainest man, the pride of Oak Park and River Forest High School in Chicago, Illinois, Willie Saylor. To my left, special guest, Flow Films producer, Funkamaniac, once beat Joe Dubuque, Mark Bader. He gets embarrassed that I bring that up.
I lost twice.
But it happened. I would introduce, if I beat Joe Dubuque in anything, ping pong, I would probably just lead with that in every, hey, Christian Piles beat Joe Dubuque. Just no, in all.
If Christian beat Joe Dubuque, this show would be called I Beat Joe Dubuque Radio Live.
It would be called it would be Christian Piles beat Joe Dubuque Radio Live. Okay, so
thank you so much.
So sorry. So Bader's here. Bracky's
What's up, guys?
Here in the hanging out, chilling. And yes, many of you have asked, and yes, we will have Alien Hour with Kyle Brackey. It is quickly becoming your favorite segment. And we started a movement, or I should say Kyle started a movement with the Avril thing. It has gone mainstream. And Kyle can provide that update later.
Is she dead or no?
Of course she's dead.
Okay.
Bader.
Of course she's dead.
I haven't watched the show.
Well, thanks. Thanks for your support.
I mean, I love you guys, but I changed the diapers and stuff.
Got it. Okay. Mark Bader, you're here because tomorrow we are dropping a Flow film about our friend, your dear friend, Benjamin Askren. He fights Saturday. It's a huge weekend. I'm very excited about it, but I'm really excited for this film to drop noon Central tomorrow live, and then 7. It's the only way you can watch it tomorrow. So make plans. Quit. I would quit your job personally. Just quit so you can watch it.
Yeah, take some time. Check it out. It's good.
But talk to us a little bit about the film. Why are you excited about it? Why should the people at home watch this?
I mean, why am I excited? I mean, it tells the story of Ben Askren, who I've been really close to him, but I at the same time been a big fan. And he's done things differently. His wrestling's been different. His personality's been different, and kind of how he got to be where he is. It's like it in the sense of we dig deep into somebody's life. It's like basically all the other Flow films. And you kind of, and he's got this trash talking or this big personality, and it kind of, you hear from his high school coach about, he used to be quiet and this and that in class, and then when you got him in the wrestling realm, holy smokes, this guy rubber chickens and briefcases, and how his personality just kind of evolved. Alongside that, how his style evolved, and I'm too slow and I'm not strong enough, and guys are getting into my legs, and the rest is history.
I heard the story that he has told me, he weighed 130 pounds and was very fat. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then I saw the video. He was a fat person.
He was a fat little kid.
He was a fat kid. And to me, that is like the biggest signal that he was going to have success. The fact that he was how old, and he decided
10 or
he was like 10, 11, 12, and he's like, I need to lose some weight. Well, and he lost 30 pounds. That is unbelievable.
If you look at him today, he doesn't, even in the Olympics, 163, which is like the thinnest I ever saw him,
yeah,
he still has this, like, I'm sure tomorrow or this weekend, fighting at 170, he's going to have like a little round thing on his hips. He is a fat person body. You know how some people are just large kind of by nature, and he lost all that, but it's like still this body of a man who should be fat or could be.
If he let himself go, it would be problematic.
He barely let himself go. After the fight and his retirement fight in Singapore, and it was just about a year, I think.
He was housing a lot of bread at your wedding. I was concerned
about
Midlands.
He told me does he say 209 was his top? Sorry to throw you under the bus, Ben, if that's the case. But I think at some point, and that's like, think about if it had gone on for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
We should be thanking Dana White. He may have saved Ben's life. So, hey, did you, throughout the course of making this film, you hosted Ben on his recruiting trip. So you've known Ben, what, 10, 15 years?
2002, 2003.
16 years, we'll say. Was there anything you learned about Ben throughout the filming of this, through interviewing him or interviewing coaches? You were there for a lot of it. A lot of the stuff you're asking.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's funny because most of the time you go into these films, I take like Kolov, for example. The first time I ever talked to Kerry Kolov was when I got his number somehow and called him, and I was like, hey, this is Mark Bader from Flow. We got these films we could be doing on you and this and that. So I learned a lot about Kerry through the whole process, and especially spending a couple days with him. I basically knew the story we wanted to tell here. I don't know if there's a whole lot that surprised me. There was one thing, and it's not in the film because we're essentially done with it. Some small corrections going on and tweaks. But he said we went back and interviewed him in December, I think, so we could talk about the UFC and everything else to kind of have one final interview. And near, we just kept going. I'm kind of done, but I'm kind of just wanting to just keep it going, see if something else will pop out.
You never know.
And he's like, you know what? He's like, lately, he's a well-read and he's a talented guy. Everybody kind of gets it. He's like, lately, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I just have this feeling like I'm here for a greater purpose. I'm here for a higher purpose. I don't know exactly how he said it, but he was basically like, I'm here. My purpose is to be impactful, and I don't know exactly where that is and what that. I don't know even if message is the right word because he was pretty vague about it. But that was one thing that was really interesting to me. I think he said he had only told his wife, and I'm only sharing it because he shared it on camera, and I'm sure we'll have we'll have snippets come out afterwards, and that'll probably be part of it. But that was interesting. That was really interesting.
Well, he's definitely having a huge impact with with his coaching and whatnot. What's been interesting to me, and obviously, we at Flow have a special connection with Ben.
Yeah.
And he's our friend.
He's been not part of Flow technically, but
really he
since
has.
the start.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like Ben is a big part of why Flow was able. I mean, him allowing Martin to kind of embed himself with him and follow the biggest star in wrestling at the time, and that kind of access. And you give Coach Smith a lot of credit for that as well. Kind of really. I mean, it had me on Flow every single day just praying that something from Ben Askren would go up. But my question is, and what has been interesting is, like, now that Ben is in the UFC, he's got all this, like, mainstream interest, and people, like, seem to, like, love him or find he's polarizing. And to me, it's like, well, of course, and it's why I was so annoyed all along. Why is this guy not getting his shot? What was Dana thinking all these years? Like, this is a guy, you have all these idiots in there who can barely string sentences together. These fake wannabe trash talkers that they make fools of themselves. There's a couple McGregors, right? There's some guys that are really, really good at it and building fights. But most of these guys stink. And you've got Ben who will make you pick a side every single time now. It's like so obvious, right? And then as soon as he gets any mainstream attention, which he would have had if he was in the UFC 10 years ago, it would have been like this. They could have had a star welterweight for 10 years. I'm like, what were you thinking?
I don't know.
That's how I've been thinking.
First of all, I think he should have been in the UFC long ago. Of
course.
Or there's, that seems obvious. But his trash talking or whatever you want to call it that he's doing these days, it's evolved and it's gotten better. And I was at his fights early on, and when his first couple fights in Bellator, he hits this kid Ryan Thomas in some kind of headlock. Or, he chokes him, but the kid never tapped, but the ref stops it, right? And it was like this controversy, and as soon as they tapped, the ref stopped it. He's like, I'm fine. And I was like, wow, okay. And then they get in the press conference afterwards, and Ben starts chirping at him, and everybody's like, what? But it wasn't the same kind of level that it is now. It was like, just that like his fighting was probably at a 6 back then, and it's closer to a 10 now. His trash talking and his whatever else wasn't where it is now. And I'm not saying that's what kept him out of the UFC.
Pretty freaking good.
I'm telling you, this is how I've seen it. When I saw him at this UFC press conference, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, recently, and all the stuff he's done since he's been into the UFC, it's like, oh my God, he's unleashing a beast that I've never seen in a way I've never seen it, verbally, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think it's evolved too. Bader, do you think that he's like actively worked on it, or he's just gotten better at it?
I think he's probably just gotten better at it, but I mean, I know he's friends with Chael, and I think that's the kind of thing Chael actively works on, or at least thinks about, right? You don't have to like stand in the mirror and practice it, but it wouldn't surprise me if stuff rattles around his head, and he's kind of
surprised me. if he tried to get better at it. And another thing too about why it wasn't Ben in there. I mean, he was good enough.
Mm-hmm.
His persona is good. His trash talk's good. But he made an interesting statement on his podcast a couple days ago. I listened to it yesterday. That the UFC is surprised that he's so receptive. He's so
People
on
like
the
him.
ball.
Okay.
Well, no, like
Yeah,
he
on point.
answers emails and he shows up on time. And he emails them and says, "Hey, my flight for this and that." And he said the representatives at UFC are like, "You are the greatest thing ever," because they have like a roster of 300 jabronis that just are not like communicative.
Yeah.
So
not
what
adults.
I'm saying is he's a pro, right? He's not going to miss
100%.
weight. They took a lot of criticism for guys missing weight and stuff like that. They take a lot of criticism for guys missing a media day or whatever. That's another attribute that Ben has.
Well, I think one thing that contributes, UFC is a very successful organization for sure, and they could obviously afford to not have Ben Askren. And when you call Dana White a liar about what he said about drug testing, and Dana was lying, Dana, you were lying about that. You can drug test these athletes because you are now.
Yeah.
But I think if he was calling them out, he's like, I don't have to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't want him in my organization.
Ben's kind of said this, right? They probably didn't want somebody coming straight from Bellator, potentially winning, and then saying, "Look, see, the best guys do come from Bellator."
That's true.
On
too.
top of that, just like I said, his talking has evolved, his fighting has evolved, and it was kind of boring back then. It was more take you down and hold you and punch you with these little pillow punches, and now he's found better ways to pound and ground, I guess, ground and pound guys and beat them up on the ground rather than just like constantly trying for submissions, and it kind of looks boring. And I'm interested to see his stand up. I don't think he's going to go out and try to go toe to toe and trade with Robbie Lawler, but I think he might not get hit as much as people think, and maybe he will, right? And that's why I'm going to watch. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I mean, you talk about his evolution there, and that's what Ben Askren, I think more than anything, he's a guy who evolves. But looking at his last couple fights, TKO, submission, unanimous decision, TKO, submission, TKO. Those are his last, 10 fights or so. He's finishing fights, so definitely a lot of evolution there.
A lot of them were ugly, too.
Yeah, he just embarrasses these guys.
And I'll take a step back and say these guys aren't top 10 fighters. Most of them. Maybe if you go back to his last 10 fights, maybe, but and he'll say this, right?
He knows.
Yeah, he's making money, not taking damage, not fighting. Shinya Aoki is a legend, probably on the back half of his career, the last guy he fought, but yeah.
It's an interesting matchup, Bader. Everybody says, as soon as it was announced, everybody said Lawler's probably the guy in the division that presents the most challenges to Ben's style.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to think if Ben wins, if he beats Lawler, then man, he got to be feeling pretty darn good.
Yeah, and it is probably one of the tougher challenges. I think we were just kind of talking off camera before this. It's like Ben's trained with all these guys, and he's trained with Lawler, and it's been years. So don't get me wrong here, but how am I gonna do? Is Ben gonna be all right? It's like, man, he's trained with Tyron Woodley. He's trained with a lot of the best guys in that division and other divisions, and he knows he stacks up. It's like if I wrestle for Buffalo Gap, but I'm training in the Penn State Nittany Lion Room every day and hanging with these guys, then you know what? I'm not Buffalo Gap level. No offense, Christian. I'm top notch level, ready to compete with anybody. But I've just been wrestling over in Virginia in high school, so nobody really knows how good I am.
All right. You got your Gap digs in.
But for real, it's
go
like
Gap, go.
Go Gap.
Thank you.
I hope Christian's high school does really well.
Thanks, man.
So in the piece, Bader, getting back to Ben's wrestling, what do you focus on most? I mean, is it his life now? Is it the evolution of funk?
It kind of takes you from introduction to wrestling through today, and I'd say the majority of it takes place from the time he starts wrestling through college. and then there's a big to-do around the Jake Herbert match. And it does get into his fighting. We went with him to Singapore for his last retirement fight. So and then there's some stuff with his family. We go out to Milwaukee and spend time with them. But that's kind of a little collage. But yeah, it's a wrestling film, right? It's a wrestling documentary with other things around it.
Well, that's cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
Bader, it's awesome having you on. Anything else you want to say about the film? We're excited.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's like it was like a year. It's a year and a half in the making. We kind of started making it, and then we put it on pause because some restructuring things here. And then it was like, hey, he's fighting. Boom, we got like a handful more interviews. Mike Ironman, I think, is a really dynamic interview. I love this guy. Jaden's dad, Jaden Cox's coach. He spent a lot of time with Ben back in 2003, 4, 5. When they were like, and if you know anything about Mike Ironman, he's funky and crazy, and put those two brains together, and it was a really cool thing.
Man, if I was Division I head coach, I'd be trying to get Mike Ironman on my freaking staff. You want to talk about a curveball, a game changer, someone that can mold a style around different wrestlers and make stuff work. I mean, just look at the fruit. Look at what this guy has produced.
I know that Mike's been contacted.
Listen to how Ben Askren talks about him. Yeah. Listen to what Jaden Cox says about this guy. Mike Ironman should be on. I mean, he should be courted. He should be a Division I coach.
I think he's been contacted by different schools. I think one he coaches at Westminster, which is a D3 school, I think, and I believe he's been talked to by some of the larger programs about potentially having an RTC capacity, but nothing.
No, nothing. Staff.
Okay.
I'm saying he should be on staff. I mean, here's the thing with Iowa. You got Mark Perry. You have a transcendent folk styler.
Mm-hmm.
He's the freestyle coach. Mark Perry is someone that I think he could really help the Hawkeyes if he was able to. One, he was a good recruiter, and two, he's just got a different feel. I'm not saying that they should shake up their staff, but I'm just saying Mark Perry's a folk star. With Mike Ironman, his stuff, and I'm not saying, I mean, he coached Jaden Cox. He's a two-time world medalist,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not saying all his stuff is just folk style. But I'm saying if I'm a D1 coach, I don't want this guy just straight RTC. I want him on staff. I want him working with these guys every single day.
100% agree. I wonder if, Jaden still being in school has something to do with it. Maybe when Jaden graduates, Mike will take a job.
That's a good
Mike
point.
will take a job, in a different geographic location.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just hire him as our full-time coach, and we'll just make world and Olympic teams.
Yeah.
Watch, we'll get Nomad on the squad.
Hey, he was my coach at when I wrestled and won a national title.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thanks,
well, I
Mike.
guess Joe was in my corner, but Mike was on the side yelling.
It was Mike.
Yeah.
It was all Mike. Those training camps. Mark Bader. Thanks,
awesome,
dude.
Mark Bader. Hey, check it out. The Funk, Ben Askren tomorrow noon and 7 Central, and then on demand Saturday. And of course, Ben fights this weekend.
Oh,
Enjoy.
Man. Let's get together and watch Ben beat someone up. All right. Thanks, Mark Bader. Nomad's still here, guys. He's here. He's been sitting in the corner drinking water, and he can't wait to join.
Is he hydrating?
He's hydrating. Yeah. He said, you know what? First things first, boys, I'm going to hydrate. All right, Bracky, what's going on? How's Facebook doing?
It's good. People excited about Ben fighting this weekend.
Okay, I am too. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous. Really want him to win badly.
What do you boys got going on for it? You got plans?
Well, I just asked Bader. Bader's the party animal. He's like, I think I'm going to watch at home. So I don't know what we're going to do. We got to figure that out.
I mean, what? He's watching at home? Listen. Bader, and right before we went live, he said, the baby's almost potty trained now. I mean, he's really doing it, guys. He's becoming an adult.
I know. Now he is. I mean, why now? Why now? At 30, he's almost 40. Is now really the time, Bader? I mean, just, stick with your brand. All right. So I can't wait for the fight. Can't wait for you guys to watch the Funk. It seems like everyone's really fired up about it on the internet, on the entire internet. So
I wanted to go. I was like this close to going, but it's just
it was a classic.
You're this close to going to everything.
Yeah, you're always like, I'm going. Look at you get on kayak, you got the tickets planned out, and then you just don't go.
No, I really did, and it's affordable and everything. It's just with with conferences coming up at PIAA, it's not wise to travel for a few days.
Yeah. Okay, sweetness. All right, where do we want to go now, Willie? Do you have any topics that are burning a hole in your proverbial pocket?
So yeah, there's a lot of topics burning a hole in my head. I don't know if we want to get into it.
Okay, got it. Well, if it's in question, then maybe perhaps we shouldn't.
Well, I mean, Hawkeye Report is on fire about us saying that Spencer Lee wasn't sick, but they also lie about a lot of stuff. So I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to get into it, but yeah, I mean, we got other stuff. Hey, Earl brought up a good point yesterday. Earl from the Open Mat. I said I tweeted something like, Chris Ayers from Princeton tweeted that why do college coaches, and we said this a long time ago, why do college coaches rank guys? Number one, they have a job to do. In case you missed it, they have to coach up guys. They have to travel. They have to do their job. And then on top of that, you're relying on them to have an accurate ranking for which to seed from. So that means that they have to know every result that ever happened this season. And I won't say who it was, but I'm sitting with a college coach last weekend, and we were talking about the same thing, and he's like, I hate doing it. I don't want it. He actually said, no college coach wants to do this.
It's stupid. All right, so one, they're not able to do the job properly, because if they're doing the job properly, they're literally neglecting their actual job, which is to coach wrestlers well.
Yes.
Two, there is not a more biased source of ranking. The whole point of a ranking is that it would be unbiased. They all have agendas, and they're all scheming, and they want to do a good job, but they're going to do things that are going to help their program. Someone voted Oklahoma State number one in like a coach's poll. That happened in this year, 2019. Like, that person should immediately lose their vote, and may God have mercy on their soul. That's horrible. And yeah, I mean, Coach Ayers is right. I don't think they should be doing it. The college football one, isn't that a joke too, Bracky?
Yeah. The coaches usually don't even do it. They just tell like the SID what they want, or like the one thing that they care about for that poll.
Got it.
So yeah, Ayers said it. I talked to almost half a dozen coaches this weekend.
Other coaches chimed in and agreed.
Yeah, and they don't want to do it. So, years ago, I on one of these shows maybe, or a tweet or something, I said it's stupid that college coaches do it. They should let the freaking rankers do it. And by the way, I don't rank college, so this isn't about me. This is about getting it right. Mm-hmm. So I had said the rankers need to do it. Not a Flow thing. You get the guy from Flow, you get the guy from Intermat, you get the guy from the Open Mat, and maybe a couple more reliable sources, and you get together and you form a panel and you knock out the seeds. Now, maybe that panel has one little thing wrong. The coaches can give feedback, and the panel can get back together and say, yep, you're right, let's move this, right? Very transparent, very a process, a dialogue. Now, to which Jason Bryant told me that he tried to get that to happen. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to get that to happen, and that is going to become the national poll. The national poll. It's going to be the media poll.
Yeah, he actually asked me about this.
Intermat said no, because it would become the de facto ranking, the only ranking that mattered. Intermat said no, because that's where they get all the traffic.
Oh, okay. Well, good for them. Whatever works. It would probably help them. As how backwards they are. It would probably help Intermat. But anyways, okay. Well, that's interesting to know. I don't think the coaches should do it either, Willie. Okay.
So,
another thing about the coaches doing it or not. Just the whole process needs more transparency, and there are things that might have been screwed up. So.
All right. Well, you can't just say that. That's
No, okay, but here's the thing. Why is it a nuclear secret that people don't understand how the seating works?
Is it a nuclear secret? I think isn't the criteria clearly outlined? Isn't that how you're able to do it? Because the NCAA.
I am able to do it after doing 2.5 years of work and 45 different conversations. That does not seem like an efficient way of figuring out how the thing works.
I don't think.
I mean, no one knows how the NCAA basketball tournament seating works.
Yeah.
It's just a committee that goes in a room, and then you see them at the end
6
of
hours
Selection
later.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I wish they would let me go in the room when they do the seating. That's like one of my few dreams that I have left in this sport is that I can just be in there when they do it.
Fly on the wall.
I want to be there when they say John.
Most of your dreams already happened.
Most of my dreams have happened, Willie. I'm literally sitting here talking wrestling. There's cameras around. I don't know how this happened, honestly. But no, I want to be there when someone says John Ernesty, 5 seed, cool. Like I want to be there. I just need to be there when that happens. When they make, I mean, there have been some bad ones. When Christian Boley was made the 4 seed that one year, maybe a 3. I needed to be in the room for that because I don't know what I would have said or done. Anywho. I love seating. That maybe I don't know. You guys like seating because seating is rankings, and we know you love rankings. But we love talking seating up in here. Okay. Someone had a. I think it's time. We need to get Bracky involved here.
Uh-oh.
It's time for the Alien Hour, and I think we need an Avril update first, and that may be what starts Alien Hour moving forward until the truth is 100% out there, and then we can transition to the rest.
So I've been really impressed with everybody's Avril challenges. Even had a couple people talk to me about it at Iowa, Oklahoma State, which was pretty awesome. And yesterday, Snapchat, they have like little, like news sources have like almost like little shows on Snapchat, and they had one about Avril dying and being replaced. So we're making it big time, folks. But keep it going. We cannot rest.
We cannot rest.
We cannot rest because the whole world, it just needs to be a fact until it's admitted by Melissa that this is what happened. But today, we did not find the Oklahoma octopus, by the way. Spay would not get in the water after he broke his foot.
Well, hold on. You can't just say he broke his foot. You got to say what happened there because this was hilarious.
So we got to Stillwater Friday, and we decided we were going to go up to the room after practice was done, play a little spike ball, mess around, get in the steam room, and we're playing our last game of spike ball. Spay is playing, and he was like the only one that didn't have wrestling shoes, I think. Mm-hmm. And so he's playing barefoot, and his foot got caught in the mat, and you would have thought he got shot. All the screaming he was doing.
I was so
He's
scared.
transferring to Rutgers.
It was a tough scene.
It was a tough scene. I thought he was real. I was actually literally concerned that we were going to have to go to the hospital. I thought something so horrible happened. It was
Christian
bad.
thought it was his head at first. He's like, "Did you hit your head?" He's like, "No, it's my toe." And then Christian goes, "Okay, good."
I was That was like my genuine. I was genuinely relieved. I was like,
Dude,
okay.
that's crazy. So, like, go through it. Every February, 2017, Sam Stoll. 2018, Nick Soriano. 2019. No, I'm messing the
Spay.
years up. Everybody catches their foot in the mat once a year in February in Oklahoma.
Whoa,
State.
Wow.
whoa.
Wow.
This goes all the way
That's
to
a
the top.
real.
That's a good theory.
I didn't even consider
Willie.
that. Yeah, we didn't find the Oklahoma octopus, even though we had the scuba gear and everything necessary. But Spay wouldn't do it. He couldn't get the flipper on.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, let's just check that one off. That's not true. That one's not. There's
Actually,
no octopus. There's not an octopus.
You dig your own grave.
It's like Well, go swimming in the lake and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens to you. That's the only way you can.
People drown.
Animal Planet did a
people drown
Lost
in
Tapes
lakes.
episode on this. Do you
Yeah,
think
I
they
saw
would
the
do?
Lost Tapes. You wasted about 15 minutes of my life because you brought up the Oklahoma octopi, and I watched Lost Tapes on it. I said to Piles yesterday, why do they do this? Seriously, me and Piles jumped on a Skype call yesterday, and my TV was playing, and I said, Piles, what is more ridiculous? That they continue, that networks continue to produce Bigfoot shows, or that I watch them?
No. You should watch all the Bigfoot shows. What are you talking about? Finding Bigfoot is fantastic.
It's ridiculous.
And you know what's funny? It's like the trick. I stopped watching these shows, but they literally make you think. The way they tease stuff out and keep you on the entire show,
They're good.
They make you think you're really going to see Bigfoot this time.
Yep.
And you never are.
No.
You're never going to see anything.
I watch it and I scroll through and it'll say Finding Bigfoot or like Bigfoot Files or something like that, and I'm like, this is going to be stupid. Click and I watch it, and it's stupid. There's no chance you're going to see anything that looks like a Bigfoot.
Okay. Well, we haven't even got to Kyle's Alien Hour.
It's good that we're talking about Bigfoot because this is kind of along those lines. But this is called the Bat Squatch.
Oh.
Yeah.
This sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Bats are terrifying.
Is that the worst theory?
In the 1980s, Mount St. Helens erupted, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And in Washington State, and when that erupted, a lot of sulfur dioxide was released, okay?
This is science, Willie.
Yes. And
It's like a huge fart.
and so myself and others believe that sulfur dioxide caused this bat to turn into a humanoid. Yes, another humanoid. About 9 feet tall.
Oh, my God.
It looks exactly like a bat. It just has legs. Its head is a bat head, everything. And in 1994, a man was driving down just a country road, and all of a sudden his car just stopped working. And so he gets out and he pops hood. He's trying to figure out what's going on, and he looks across the road, and there is this bat squatch just staring at him. And they just get in this staring contest for a few minutes. He's too afraid to even move, and then it finally just takes off, and then his car works.
It flew away?
Yeah, it just flew away.
Is that not a little Mothman-esque in terms of the electrical failure?
No, yeah, it very is. But this is not a moth. This is a bat.
This is a bat.
Yeah.
Which is way scarier. A moth, you can just smack.
Agreed.
Right?
This is scarier.
Yeah. Dang.
Now, this isn't the only sighting. Now, there are fewer sightings of the bat squatch than some of the other creatures we've talked about, such as skunk ape and stuff. In 1998, it was one was supposedly hit by a logging truck.
Wow.
But it was okay. It was
unharmed. The poor logging
yeah,
truck.
Yeah.
A 9-foot bat?
It definitely took more damage than bat squatch.
Oh, yeah.
And then even as recently in 2009, some hikers in northern Colorado were just walking along a path, and one just flew out of a cave and scared the crap out of them.
Was it Troy Nickerson?
Sure.
No, it was not. Did I say Colorado? Northern California, sorry.
Oh, okay, got it.
Sorry, not Troy Nickerson.
They do some
Jason Borelli.
They do some stuff in Northern California that may have caused them to see a 9-foot bat humanoid.
No way.
Dude,
They're drug free.
these people have never smoked or drank in their
Yeah,
life.
especially hikers in Northern California do not use drugs.
Was it in the
period.
state of Jefferson?
Oh, Lord.
No, it was not.
Was it Robert Whitman?
No, it was not.
All right.
All these stories check out, guys.
All right. Well, I mean, I was the lone skeptic a couple of years ago when there was a Sasquatch sighting in Round Rock, but I'm in on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, there's science behind it. The sulfur.
exactly. When there's science behind it, you can't refute it.
Yeah, you can't refute it.
Everyone knows that a natural disaster like that or some kind of chemical disaster causes these kind of things.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should see what.
If
Read
sulfur-
one comic book, you'll know that.
Yes.
If sulfur makes you grow, I'm getting a truckload next week.
Now, what I really am curious about with all these disasters, what sort of humanoids were birthed from the Chernobyl situation? Because there's got to be some messed up stuff out there.
I've seen theories that Mothman has been seen at Chernobyl. I'm serious.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to learn that one bit. Okay, great update. All our listeners in the California, Washington area, please let us know. Please send us pictures of any bat squatches you come across. Please be safe. Do not, and I'm sure, safety first here as a disclaimer, do not approach a bat squatch. You can photograph it, but
Photograph it, video it. Do not try to harm it.
yes, please leave the bats. I mean, unless you're in a logging truck, in which case just do your
That
job.
was an accident.
That was an accident.
Who was the guy? The alligator that said wait 5 days, don't harm
Yeah,
it.
the Skunk Ape guy. I can't remember
Skunk
his
Ape.
name, but yeah, he wants you to wait 5 days before you report the sighting.
His name was probably Lyle.
Hey, you know what we should do once we've done enough Bracky's Alien Hours is we should make a tournament and get people to vote on who
Oh
will
my
win.
god,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is fantastic.
March Madness humanoid bracket.
Oh my God.
We have to do this.
Astrology.
We'll
No
do the
matter, you
humanoid
breaking down the
bracket.
seed?
Oh
We'll
yeah.
get some
Come on, break
conspiracy
down the
theory
seeds.
brackets.
Wow. I think
Wait a second, when is-
Batsquatch is out of conference is going to crush his seed.
Right.
Because he just stays in the Pacific Northwest.
They always forget about him.
When Batsquatch was hit by the truck, what happened to the Batsquatch?
It just took off. He took
didn't-
off.
It didn't kill him. Have you ever
No.
clipped an animal or something? You know, hit the back end of a deer, they kind of run off. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. This is pretty good content.
Batsquatch.
All right.
That's the part that upset you the most about that story?
Shout out to all the listeners of and the appreciators of Alien Hour. Yanni Diakmahalis tweeted he loves the Alien Hour. We know Kanan Store is a big
Kanan
listener.
Store, yeah.
He's definitely woke about the Avril situation. Apparently 140,
Yeah.
141 loves Alien Hour. We're saying any other weight classes involved, let us know. We're always curious for your feedback about Alien Hour. But yeah, I think March Madness, I know we're a little busy with like Big Tens and NCAAs and all the conferences, but kind of feels like we should go all in on a March Madness humanoid bracket astrology situation.
What was the one in Chicago? It was like a version of the Mothman or something.
That was his Mothman sightings in Chicago.
Yeah.
That was just kind of a little Mothman update.
And Kanye. No, he's technically a humanoid, I think. All right. So this was a question from a friend, but I can't even wait because I think we need to do it. Penn State versus Oklahoma State whiteboard war, because we're not going to see this duel. And it's very sad because it's probably the one duel other than the duel we just saw that I would really, really want to see.
Give me
And
schnupp.
What'd you say?
Nothing. I said give me schnupp.
Give me.
Are we jumping? Are we jumping right into it?
We're jumping in like it's a lake in Oklahoma, and we're in search of the octopus. All right. We'll start with the Flair brothers, the Road Flares, Nomad and Willie. 125 pounds. Who you got? Devin Schnupp or Nick Piccinini?
Give me pitch by Major.
Okay.
Like all great cornerbacks, pitch 6.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a tech fall.
Tech fall as well. He tilts him up a bunch.
Tilt him up. Pin him in a tilt. He might pin him in a tilt.
Yeah.
All right.
All
That's
right, let's just keep.
what?
All right. I was gonna say let's just keep one. We'll have a consensus. It's 5-0.
No,
Let's go
we
five.
all wait.
I literally keep track of all of them.
He's
It's
got a-
literally not that
All
hard.
right.
He's got sheets. He's ready to go. 133 pounds. This is a juicy nugget here. 133 pounds. Dayton Fix versus Roman Bravo Young. We almost saw this at the Southern Scuffle, but Austin Gomez bombed this man, Roman Bravo Young. I really want to see this match. Hopefully we get it at the NC2A wrestling tournament, but I've got Dayton Fix WBD.
Decision. Kyle.
I have Dayton Fix winner by decision as well.
Dane.
And Nomad.
What do you have, Gnomesy?
Oh, I got Dayton by decision.
That's a pretty easy one, right?
Right.
This one,
Yeah.
maybe also easy. Cade Brock versus Nick Lee. Coming into the year, it would not be easy, but Nick Lee looks outstanding, and Cade Brock, that pace, I don't know. I think he takes Nick Lee down for sure once or twice, but
Yeah.
I don't think he can ride him.
Cade Brock leads in this match at one point, and then Nick Lee wins.
Yes, that's the way this match would go, I believe. So give me, I'll say decision, but I'm telling you what,
Tell you what.
Nick could do it. Nick could put up bonus against him, but I will not predict that.
I will go decision as well for Nick Lee.
Decision for Nick Lee.
Decision.
Okay, here's another good one. Brady Berge versus Caden G. Feller. Now, G ain't looked super good recently, but Berge, it's not let the world on fire at any point this year. I think
When's
actually
the last time he wrestled a match?
Berge, the last match he wrestled. Berge's been
wrestled?
wrestling, Willie. He's wrestled the
haven't
last
even
couple duels for him.
Noticed.
Well, they haven't really faced anyone of note.
He has
I
existed.
didn't really
though.
pay attention to the Buffalo duel.
Yeah, he wrestled against their last couple duels. Last 2 duels. Buffalo and Illinois.
Here's the thing. Caden's hurt. Hopefully he's better. I think he will be better by conference tournament time. I'm taking Caden.
Okay.
I think he figures out a way.
I am too.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm not taking the version of Caden that we just saw the last 2 weeks. I'm taking a normal, healthy Caden, and
every aspect of this situation is virtual. Therefore, we can make it whoever it is. And I will also say G by decision.
I would take a healthy G by decision over Brady Berge.
Yep.
And so we have consensus here. We are aligned. There'll be a lot of division on this one. Jason Knoll versus Wyatt Sheets.
give me Sheets
By
decision. Major.
He wards off the major. I think he gets a late escape to preserve the major. So I think he pins Wyatt Sheets.
I think he pins him too.
Will Wyatt Sheets taunt him?
Kyle Bradkey.
Nolf pinfall.
We all got pinned.
all around.
All right, pin slays all around.
All right, here we go. Vincenzo Joseph versus Joseph Smith. Joe versus JoJo. Oh boy, I can't do it. I can't say it.
Do we?
I can't.
Do
say
we
the
put
words.
him there?
I'm putting him there.
Do we put Joe? We
He's
put Joe at 65, huh?
I'm putting him there.
All right.
It's happening.
I'm taking
the heaviest tips versus the heaviest tips. There's gonna be quite a collision here. But I can't say Vincenzo Joseph's gonna lose this match. I can't do it. I think he could.
Vincenzo.
You can't say it. I can't say it. All right.
Vincenzo
decision.
Vincenzo.
Man, this is boring.
It is boring. You know what? Cancel this duel.
It's not boring. It'll be interesting when we add up the team scores at the end. Although here comes the pain.
Here comes the pain. Doot and doo-doo. Jacoby Smith versus Mark Hall. This is not so painful, but it is a loss for Jacoby Smith.
When I mean here comes the pain, I mean here comes like a run. You know?
Yeah, I know. I'll say Mark by decision.
Mark by decision.
Don't hold up.
Okay.
Don't hold up the
All
3.
around.
No, man.
All around.
And
the
then
listeners can't see.
And then you got Gear Rashid.
This is an interesting one because what do we know about Shakur Rashid? We know that he can beat Hunter Bolin. We know this. We've seen it.
We got that data point.
know he can beat Jelani Embry. Facts.
Seen it.
That's happened. We know he can place at 197 pounds, 7th. What else do we know? He likes lollipops. That's additional information.
He wants to be an actor.
He wants to be an
He's
actor.
a thespian.
How does the thespian factor in? I'm not sure.
Hey, maybe Gear's riding on top and he plays possum
He's playing possum.
on bot. Plays possum on bottom, then gets a reversal. I'm going Rashid by decision.
I think it's an interesting matchup because they're both really good scramblers, both good on top. But I think Shakur is probably better at those things. And when you're better at the same things, I like that guy every time. So Shakur by decision.
Well, the last time we saw, when we saw Shakur against Embry, he looked a little, his 7-minute lungs weren't there. I'm saying that a peaked Shakur. I took a peak Caden. I'm taking a peak Shakur, and I think he's a little bit more athletic than Gear. His feet are a little bit quicker. I'll take Rashid.
Rashid decision.
All right. Another tough one.
Bunch of decisions all around.
Tough decision here. Bo Nickel, Preston Weigel. This is probably bonus. I don't know. It's a long time to wrestle Bo Nickel and not get on your back. And if he gets near fall, I'll give Preston benefit of the doubt. I'll say decision for Nickel.
I will too.
A lot of people trying to tell me Bo Nickel's going to pin his way through NCAAs. Is that believed here on this show?
No.
I certainly don't not believe it.
I'll go major.
He's been the
I'll
number
go
2 guy, so yeah, I'm putting it in play.
Yeah, it's in play. It's just not gonna happen.
I don't see him pinning Waggle.
Yeah, that's a lot
Waggle-
of young man to pin.
Weigel kind of slows things down too, right? It's like good defense. I don't know. He doesn't give up a lot of points.
Just don't see him getting.
But I will
traded.
go major.
Yeah, that's probably what I should say, but I won't.
I'll take nickel major.
Yeah, I love Preston Weigel. I had him on my fantasy team up until I thought he wasn't going to wrestle anymore this year. But
Did you
Bo,
drop him?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, I got Brucky, so not really. Anyway, Bo by major.
And then the interesting part about this whiteboard war is that both these teams were at the scuffle, yet I don't think any of these matches happened except this one, which is
Well, Joe Smith-Chenzo couldn't have happened.
well. That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They didn't happen.
Yeah, that's insane.
Derek White versus what you call him? Anthony Cassar. Caesar. Sorry, Mr. Chertow. I'll say what happened last time will happen once more because that makes sense to me. Derek White by decision.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the result, although I think it could be reversed, but the result is the result. I'm going to stick with bulk job.
Cowboy bulk job.
Got it.
So what do we got? What do we
Well,
got?
Pretty simply, I have it 22-15 in favor of the Central Pennsylvania Lions. Bracky has it 22-14 in favor of the Fighting Chaos Andersons. CP has it 21-14 in favor of
Football
the blue
score.
and white. And Willie has it 22-13 in favor of his favorite college football team.
All right. There you have it. Okay. That was actually not that juicy. Sorry, fans. No arguments. No one had a different. We didn't have a differing opinion. It's just on bonus points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have friends. They have questions. They're my friend, and Daniel's and Kyle's. They're not Willie's friend.
Can we talk? Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can we talk about Kolov? I mean, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Semis are about. It's maybe not worth it because semis are about to have. Like most of the people that are going to listen to this.
No.
Semis will already be
No,
done,
thank
so.
you. I meant to put that in the doc. Let's talk about not only what happened last night while you were sleeping or watching. Good on you if you were watching. And then what is to come from Dan Kolov. Because as you mentioned, Tuesdays we were signing off. Very juicy lineup for Team USA.
Yes. So last night we had 9 athletes compete. We put 4 in the semis. Again, you'll probably know the results. But Joe Colon, Michael Macchiavello, Maya Nelson, and Alex Dieringer. Alex Dieringer looked like it was a joke.
You just
You
smashing
look like a
people.
bat.
He scored a point in 2 seconds in his first match. He pushed a guy out in 2 seconds.
Really?
I didn't think that was possible. You just horsed the guy around. But yeah, Chamizo Burrows 4 is a possibility. We could get Gilman against Atley, who he saw at the World Championships. Gilman or Dinibot. They wrestled in the Urigan bronze medal match.
Oh, he's there again?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Gwiz will be there. James Green wrestled today. Molnaro wrestled today.
Kyle Snyder, Kyle Snyder.
Kyle Snyder.
Versus the Leopard. Mm-hmm. Captain America versus a Leopard.
Is
Who
he
would
there?
win?
Is he there for sure? Is the Leopard of Jabor there?
We don't know this.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Like, I don't know what.
And even if he was there,
I
his
thought
heart could
maybe you're-
explode.
I don't know what weights or what day. I'm saying I thought maybe you're saying he weighed in. I'm asking a question. You goober.
Yeah. So it's one of those. He's like entered or registered or whatever. But
Yeah.
when's the last time he wrestled?
I believe. No, he did something after the Olympics. I can't remember, but he did like.
No, man, what was the
I think he did
situation?
steroids after the Olympics. If I had to guess. Also before.
No, man. What was the situation with him last year at trials? Did they they were gonna let him miss trials, but then have a special wrestle off, or they didn't let him wrestle? Something goofy was going on with him, right?
Iran frequently makes up their trials process as they go along.
It's amazing. I'm so glad we don't do that, but it would be like the juiciest thing ever if Team USA did their trials like Iran did, because it is just drama central all the time. They do all these special
They'll
stuff
ever
for
do-
some
Yeah.
guys.
Because they'll have normal things that make sense to be qualify, you'd be like, oh, previous world team member, or if you won a medal in the last couple years, or if you won the Takti Cup, which is like their premier domestic thing. If you went to this tournament and won, like if
But
you
they have a tournament, right? Or like a trials too.
well, they have a nationals and then they have a trials later. But what I'm saying is there's like all these things that are like theoretically qualifiers to do it, and then they'll do a camp or something in February and somebody won't show up or like will cuss out Kadam and they'll be like, screw you, you're out. And they'll just like make up rules as they go along, and then it'll be like, oh, this guy didn't do anything, but he was on the junior team last year, so we're gonna let him in, and they just like make it up. It's incredible.
Well, yeah, didn't they have 2 guys last year that they just sort of named?
Yeah.
The 2 lightweights, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
they just do whatever.
But the
what
question
was-
was about the leopard.
Oh,
Yeah, what was-
I don't specifically remember what happened with the leopard last year. I know that there
But it
was
was
a lot of
some
talk.
goofy, right?
Well, it was just a lot of talk of him wrestling, and he didn't wrestle.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever
Probably because
showed
he
up
didn't go
in-
to camp and do like, training.
or nationals. So yeah, we'll maybe see the leopard. We're big fans of him. We think he's pretty hilarious, and he's also really good. And there was a time he was probably the pound for pound #1 guy in the country, world. We'll go planet. We'll go interplanetary on that one.
Todos.
But so yeah, I've always wanted to see him versus Snyder. I don't know how it'll go because what the heck, who knows what version of Yazdani we'll get, but I'm excited for that. Obviously excited for Burroughs Chumizo. Tweeted yesterday, I think Burroughs will win because he's better. He has been better. They've wrestled 3 times. He won 2 of them. The one he lost, he should have won, in my opinion. And, yeah, I think he'll get his hand raised again. I'm curious, though, 74, what's the weigh-in situation for this?
It's 2-day. So not all international tournaments require the same process that they have at the World Championships. However, this one does match it.
Because it's a ranking?
Even rankings sometimes don't do it. Anyway, but yeah, so it's you weigh in on the day of your competition. You wrestle up to and including the semifinals, and then weigh in again the next day in repechage and medal matches.
And the weight is what?
Scratch both days.
Oh, my word. Poor Jordan. That is not going to be fun. At least he's in Bulgaria.
Right, they have great food over there. But yeah, so last night on the men's side, 61, 70, 79, 92. Weighing in soon is 57, 65, 74. So Thomas Gilman, Josh Rodriguez, BJ Fitzgerald, and Henderson. Jordan Oliver's in Bulgaria. So usually the issue is
He doesn't-
about him
There's normally
wrestling.
a TSA problem.
Right. Normally, the issue about him wrestling is he didn't come to Dave Schultz, right?
There's a
But
pre-check situation.
He's
He
in
gets the
Bulgaria,
wrong
so
line.
I'm thinking we're fixing to see Jordan Oliver, and then Burroughs at 74, and then we got a whole slew of women.
Does
we have
the-
basically 2/3 of our national
Does
team.
the Ithaca airport have TSA clear?
I don't know, but he somehow made it over there. So
All right, well, he made it.
We need to get him pre-checked. Just
Yeah, it's $60, Jordan. We'll hook it up.
yeah,
Okay. So very excited for Kolov. It starts at what time? 2 a.m.?
2 a.m. Central,
Mm-hmm.
3 a.m. Eastern.
That's when you wake up normally, right?
I took a nice little nap. Woke up at 1:30. Was ready to go. Was manning the flow accounts.
Good job, by the way.
Thank you.
Your gift game on point.
I will try to do a better job clip wise. Bracky's been trying to help me with some things, but for whatever reason, my computer won't download the software that he has. That's why he's able to do the.
Let's
nice
troubleshoot it
clips.
right now, Bracky.
it's probably
It's
no,
definitely
it's because he has
Chris
too many
Adulator
stickers.
issue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is your Crusadulator up to 2.0?
It is still at 1.8.
1.8. Okay, that's probably the issue. See?
You're never
Yep.
gonna get the 480. All right, let's get the cues from F's.
Sam Herring dropping. I mean, listen, we already have proclaimed Sam Herring's going to go on to do big things. But man, this question is very deep, and I honestly am not sure how I'm going to answer it. This is beyond wrestling. Sam Herring asking, he's the official middle school wrestler of FloWrestling in this program, and he's a better commentator than basically all of us. Would you
really good.
would you rather be the best version of yourself and reach your full potential, but coming just short of your ultimate goal, or achieve your goals but never reaching your full potential? So I will say this. I would rather achieve my goal, not reach my full potential, because would I know that I didn't reach my full potential? I feel like I would live my life with all these questions. Like, because how do you know when you've reached your full potential, right?
So that's my question, and I'm not saying that like Sam did anything wrong with this question. It's just like if you theoretically achieved your goals, would that not also mean that you had actualized your full potential? Now, I guess theoretically
Not
that doesn't.
necessarily, of
Right? Yeah,
course.
it doesn't. But like, if your potential is somewhat based upon what you believe it is, then your goals are kind of a reflection of your potential in some way, right?
I'm gonna need Kyle on this one.
I would rather achieve my goals.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the thing with that is, what is legacy? Is legacy. Because if you don't achieve your goals, or you didn't achieve whatever goal, then people are not going to remember you as, whatever.
Yeah, I'm with the achieve your goal thing. Number
But
one.
what if here? I want to throw in this caveat. What if you have to
Wait,
live?
here-
Sorry, go ahead, Willie. Then I'll throw in a caveat. My bad.
The thing is, I think for now some people will be like, yeah, I put everything into it, and I won NCAAs, and I put in the work, the results paid off, I achieved my thing, I was at my highest level. There are people like that for sure, but I am sure that there is a large population of wrestlers, including maybe the world's best, Sedgelayev and Snyder and Burroughs and John Smith and everybody, that will say, even though they won Olympic gold, that will say, I could have did a little more. Dude, Kyle Snyder will say he could have beat Sedgelayev at that one time. Jordan Burroughs will say, so I guess what I'm saying is a lot of wrestlers, no matter how much they win, no matter how many goals they achieve, they always think they could have done a little bit better.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to throw in there, like maybe the idea is like you're just consciously aware that you didn't get as much out of yourself as you could have, even though you reach your goal. Like it's in your mind, and you consciously know I did not maximize my potential. And then on the other hand, you would consciously know I did absolutely everything I could to reach my goals, and I fell up short. But there's nothing else I could have done. And there's more satisfaction in that, but I'm just gonna take that chip. Let me get that hardware real quick, and then I'll deal with the consciousness.
All that's left
later.
in 50 years is brackets.
Life is about two things: trophies and snacks. Give me the trophy.
That's a Caleb Piles reference. Okay.
That was a great question, Sam.
Thanks,
And
Sam.
Thank you for making us be introspective at 8:57 on a Thursday morning.
8:57. This kid's got more depth than all of us. All right, we're talking about bat squatches. Sam Herring is having freaking
Existential conversations.
yeah existential conversations. Meanwhile, we're on humanoid chats for
Maybe
45
over
minutes.
some chicken
on-
wings with his brother.
Yeah. All right. Next question needs to be chicken oriented. Okay. Which wrestlers? I like this question from Sean Mail at Mail Sean, Mael. Which wrestlers currently ranked in the top 4 in the country at any weight do you see as unlikely to AA? So which are the guys least likely to place that are ranked in the top 4? And to do this, I would pull up the rankings and we can start reading them.
Pull up the rankings.
Pull up the rankings. 125. It is Rivera, Pitch, Lee, Bresser. Why don't we do this? The person in the top 4 that is for each weight that we see least likely to place.
Least likely to place.
125, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little worried about Spencer. If he doesn't, the thing is, he's going to make the semis. There's no way he doesn't make the semis. I'll say Ronnie Bresser. I'm just worried about him.
I gotta say Bresser too.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I would be hard pressed to say anyone other than Bresser.
Here's the
We're talking about most
here's the
likely,
thing, though.
so if it's like
about
3%,
that top 4. About that top 4, and I've been thinking this for a while. With those 4, you have to say Bresser, but I've been thinking for a while Bresser could screw this whole thing. Bresser can make the finals.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
He was, dude. He was there to beat Rivera at Vegas. That was a great match. We should refeature that one. It was awesome.
He did beat him last year.
He did beat him last year. Okay, so that's 25. We're saying Bresser.
And also
That's
the thing
just
is,
stupid.
the question is who's most likely. So if Bresser's like a 5% chance not to place, then he's still like the most likely of them. But we still think he's going to place.
I don't think any of them are 5%. I mean, that's
But you know what I mean?
yeah. 33. Stefan, Dayton, DeSanto, Soriano. I'll say DeSanto is least likely of those four. Just because I saw it. I saw it not happen a year ago, and he's better. He's better this year. There's no doubt about it. But I can't. I'm not gonna say Stefan. I'm not gonna say Dayton. I'm not gonna say Soriano.
When's the last
Yeah,
time
you can't say
Soriano
those three.
was on the backside of a tournament?
Well, technically every Big Ten's, but
Fair.
none other than that I can think of.
Bracky, can you think of a time Soriano was on the backside of a tournament in the last 6 years?
Nope.
Yeah,
No.
hasn't happened other than large tens.
Okay, yeah, I guess DeSanto then.
It's DeSanto.
I mean, you got to
for
go
sure.
DeSanto. I feel like this is, I don't know. It's a good question, but it's.
It's gonna get good. Just be quiet. It's good. You're gonna like it. You're gonna love it. Yanni, Nick Lee, McKenna, Ironman. I think it's Ironman. I think it's a little boring that it's the number 4 guy maybe frequently, but Jaden's just got an interesting style, and this one's a little more tough, but
He's most likely to get caught, as the kids say.
get caught. He doesn't have reliable leg attacks. He's certainly likely to place, but I don't know. That's my vote.
Agreed.
William.
Yeah, Ironman. I don't know. I feel like, you know me, I don't really care about much how people think. I just think it's I don't know, it's disrespectful a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to pick Jaden Ironman to not place.
Buddy, no, you didn't. You didn't.
All
All
right.
you said is he's.
All right.
What are you worried about? Oh, now you're worried about hurting feelings? Have you? Let me give you
I
Twitter
know.
access.
I think
See, this,
like,
this is the best part. Morning Willie is so interesting. Evening Willie, completely different dude. He doesn't care. He'll cuss out anybody. But in the morning, I would hate to say that Jaden Ironman of the top 4 is the least likely. I want to preserve as in the evening time. Who knows what he'd say about Jaden Ironman? You
I
call him
go
a bum
off
in 8 hours.
I go off on FRL as well. This one, I don't feel comfortable saying
All right,
that.
you know what?
Jaden Ironman.
This is my fault anyways. You're not even supposed to participate.
Yeah, I'm participating, you bum.
I need
149.
the one thing this show needs is my ability to just hit a button and mute him. That would be amazing.
But I think it needs like an explosion that comes like the mushroom cloud that comes with it. So like when
we'll call it a mute explosion.
right, so when he hits the button, you see the screen just go whoosh.
Brad in the back in the control room. I want you to use the special effect that we have and tell us: is there a thing called a mute explosion button that we can get?
Yes.
There's a mute explosion button
Well, there's
according to
not,
Brad. We have crazy technologies that have speaker systems. He's in a different room. He just said that.
Brad,
We've been waiting to
Brad,
use that for a
wrong
while.
answer. Brad, wrong answer. Meet me in the alley.
Oh wow, Brad would tear you up, dude.
Yeah, Brad's in good
Hey,
shape,
dude.
man.
Advantage.
Hey,
Hey.
next
140.
one's easy though, right?
Next one's easy. Schnalte, Mickey, Kolodzik finds the. Micah scares me. The guy can't get away.
True
if
that.
you're good on top, if he is so matchup dependent, if he hits a guy that's good on top and he can't get to his attacks,
Micah's placing.
all right, he has not placed
Yeah,
before.
he tears
His freshman
everybody
year.
up on his feet.
His freshman year, he wasn't allowed to eat in March.
Right.
That
So,
hurt. That hurt him.
Well, and
They also made him take the wrong choice.
Did they?
They put him underneath.
Yeah, let's take down against Randy Cruz.
Whoops. Yeah. Yeah. All
Well-
right. Well, they might do it again. It's the same coaching staff. All
Kolodzik's the
respect.
most likely to lose to an unranked guy.
That's a good point. This is
I
interesting.
mean, like factually speaking, let's look at the last couple years.
And then he
He's-
took 3rd last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a weird thing where I'm pretty sure his record was exactly the same, like kind of accomplishments are exactly the same, But the one year he was an 11 seed and placed 3, and the other year he was like a 4 seed that placed 7. So I don't know.
But
there's a thing going on.
I need to say Mitch Feinsilver's name right now, though. Mitch Feinsilver is the least likely to place of the top 4.
I think
decent
sometimes
on top,
we should look into a discussion or look into the data of guys that wrestled the full calendar year. Because that year that Kolov 2 years ago, he didn't stop. He made a U23 team. He wrestled all summer.
The Gabe Dean effect.
Zahid the same way. Now, I'm not ready to say, listen, the guys that wrestle the full complement of freestyle tournaments and make a world team, then come back to the NCAAs, Nick Reenan. I'm not ready to say those guys struggled during the NCAA year because, they've been going so hard. But I think there's something there, and we should look at it.
Yeah.
157s. Nolf, Berger, Deacon, Hidley. Now, this is tough.
The answer is one spot too low.
Yeah, I know, Pentelio. That's the point. That's what makes this particularly difficult. Part of me thinks, I don't know. I think, all right, here's what I operate out of, always, best version. I don't know. Even though Berger beat Deacon and Hidley, for whatever reason, I want to say him, even though it's probably really stupid. He lost to Perriott. Then you could say, oh, yeah, well, Hayden Hidley lost to Larry Early. Fair point. I don't know what to say.
I find Hayden
Hidley, there's another one that went all year.
Mm-hmm. Good
12
point.
months a year.
We'll get Nomad on this. Post NCAA one.
I kind of want to say Berger because he wrestles. Look at his ledger. It's like 3-1 overtime, 3-2.
That's
4-2.
what I was just getting ready to say. 2-1 over Don Manarino, 3-1 over Steve Blythe, 3-1 over Caleb Young.
It's number 2 Tyler Berger.
Yep.
I want to say Berger, but part of me wants to say Deacon too. I don't know.
Deacon's got so many holds, so many ways to score. I don't know. That's just me. Could be wrong.
For me, it's all like for me. If you're talking about like least likely to place among the guys who are doing awesome, it is the level of consistency, and the level of consistency for Berger is probably the most questionable relative to the top 4 field here.
I suppose.
I mean, dude took third last year.
But he beat the guys right behind him. And,
I understand that.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one. All right,
but yeah, at NCAAs he has performed quite well. So
65. This is interesting. Josh Shields is sneakily having an outstanding year. Chinzo, Marinelli, Wick, Shields is your top 4. And I'm still going to say Shields, but the guy beat Marsteller and Massa this year. He beat Steyert. His only losses are Marinelli and Chenzo, I believe, where, this guy needed a minor miracle to beat John Van Brill in the round of 12 last year. Like one of the all-time meltdowns of meltdowns. Chernobyl situation. I'm still going to say him. Even though he's having an absolutely fantastic year. I still think it's him.
65 is pretty deep, huh?
First of all, if he's pretty set as the 4, right? Certainly behind 1 and 2. Maybe he gets the 3. That's going to be huge. You do not want to be the 4. Although the 3 stinks too, because you're going to have number 6 at NCAAs. This weight really stinks.
It's a hard weight.
It's a hard weight. This one is the most likely to have someone of the top 4 just because of the construction of the weight. Because look at this. Look at these quarters. Getting guys in the round of 12. Marinelli is going to have someone like Logan Massa, who's number 7. Wick, Isaiah White, Shields, Marsteller. Those are quarterfinals. You lose that, you're in the round of 12. Mm-hmm. This weight's going to have one for sure. At least these guys are going to be wrestling in the round of 12. Some of them. I'll say Shields. Even though there's not really much this year to say that it's like he's been great, he's answered the test, but I just think skill set, he's probably the guy.
I'll say Shields as well.
Speak on it, boys.
I could even see Wick.
I can too. I can't see Bull or Chenzo, obviously.
The thing with Bull had the going 6-6 to finish out last year thing. But But again, the level of consistency this year has been freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, the point being he makes the semis in all these tournaments, right? And yeah, he did the double triple dip, but yeah, he's been awesome. 2 undefeated regular seasons. Dude
hasn't lost a match in first 2 years of regular seasons. Then I tweeted it, and then I got people going, all that counts is March.
Oh, classic.
Classic, dude.
Thanks, guys.
John Smith trying to prove that this year with Preston Weigel.
And Joe Smith. Never Wrestling 65. All right. Oh, this is tough. Mark Hall, Daniel Lewis, Zahid Valencia, Miles Amin. Oof. This is one where it's really tough to say one of these guys doesn't place. But then you look at, man, I'll say who has had the weirdest losses in their career? Probably Amin, right? I think he's had the weirdest.
Amin lost to Leidy last year. That was weird.
That was about it for as far as weirdness goes. I'll say Amin, but I don't know, man.
Ain't none of those dudes not placing.
Right? All right, you know what? You can abstain from this one if you're scared, Willie. All right, we lost him. Oh, I think we really lost him.
Sweet.
All right, Willie's gone.
Mute explosion.
Mute explosion. Actually,
I'm here, you bum.
Well, you weren't for a moment. All right, y'all want to say one for 74?
They're all placing.
Start speaking, boys.
I guess I'll say Amin. I don't believe it.
All right, shots fired at Miles Amin from Kyle Brackey. You heard it here, Miles. Daniel Nomad, you got to say one.
Amin. I don't know.
All right, I'll say Mark Hall. Just kidding. Amin. 84. This is dealer's choice here, boys.
Now we're talking.
Miles Martin, Zach Savatsky, Taylor Venz. All of the above except Miles. They're all. Renan lost to Bonacorsi. I'll say Renan just because health. Venz lost to Wilkie. Zavatsky just didn't go to the scuffle because he didn't want to. Lost to Foster twice. Yeah, I'll say Renan because health questions. It has nothing to do with his father. Yeah, I would never. I feel sorry
Renan,
enough for Nick that he had to be raised by John Renan.
I'm saying Renan because of his father. I'm going opposite.
He'll probably say something stupid to him before he's going to wrestle, and it'll mess Nick up. Even though Nick, I think, is probably pretty used to ignoring him.
It could be, here's a double dip. How about this for a storyboard? Right before, because John Renan, I'm like, hey, you going to ACCs? Hey, you going to this tournament where Nick's going to be? Hey, are you going to be there this weekend to watch Nick? He's like, no, I'm going up to this volcano and hiking around the thing and looking for mountain goats. So
he better watch out for Bat Squatch.
Yeah.
Nick is going to NCAAs. Nick Renan's going to NCAAs. That Wednesday, John falls off the Grand Canyon, dies. Nick is distraught, has a terrible NCAAs.
Wow, that is dark. I would like to think he would be inspired, but you're right. It could.
Did John himself tell you that story?
Yeah, John's pretty dark. He may have.
Yeah, John is dark. John has emailed me, I'm going to say, between 50 and 80 ways that he would kill me.
He's not kidding. They have a very interesting relationship. John Renan, we kid because we actually know him pretty well. But yeah, he's a dark figure. Did we all take? Who did everyone take?
ZZ.
You took ZZ?
Yeah.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
I love all of them. All my options but Miles.
I'm going to take ZZ as well.
Yeah. I'm not.
We've seen it.
We've seen
Ben's lost to Wilkie.
I see Nick Renan go 0-2.
Ben's wrestles weird sometimes.
We saw Vince go head pinch in a tie match. That was Gilman Nico, Big Ten semis, or was it a final? Doesn't matter. Do y'all remember that?
Final.
That was crazy. All right, 197.
I could have lied there.
197. Nickel, Moore, Brucky, Weigel. Oh boy, this is one I'm not feeling too bad if I get 3 or 4 because Brucky got honest. Weigel's wrestled 5 matches. I'll say Weigel. Just because his style is like, he has to win a pretty certain way. I feel like Brucky can win a couple different ways, but I don't feel great about either of them.
I'll say Weigel too, although I feel the same feels. I don't know, and I wouldn't say that Colin. To me, I don't know if Colin Moore's a lock.
No Kyle Connell in this bracket. That has to factor in. Dude, Moore's gonna place. Are you kidding me? Look at this weight.
No, I think he will. I'm just saying I don't think he's a lock.
I know.
Preston has been accused of
Larceny.
not looking engaged in matches,
Like, where's he going with this?
right?
What if he just like broke some legal situation with Preston Weigel?
Well, guys, the answer is Preston because he's been accused of, yeah. No, but you know what I mean? Preston has been, people have said he kind of
You're just
looks,
saying
can
this
look
because Brucky's
disinterested.
on your fantasy team.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we
bro.
get it.
You
no,
know
because
what,
Weigel was also, I drafted both of these guys.
Yeah, well, he's not anymore.
And I
Yeah,
drafted
so-
Weigel
Well,
first
well,
because
You don't have Weigel anymore, so stop.
You don't have Weigel anymore.
Yeah.
You're hoping Brucky.
You went full Willie, just dropping.
Even
good
though
Yeah.
he just got,
You know what?
even though
Brucky.
he just got honest.
Ooh, he's going Brucky. He just got honus.
Preston.
Oh, you're gonna say it definitively after your boy just got
He
honus?
wrestled 5 matches.
He just got honus.
Okay.
Honus is going to place.
Oh man,
Ben
Bracky
Honus,
went
Green
full
Ellis.
Bee Gees on that one. Ben Honus, Green Ellis. All right, that is a tough one between those two, just to be honest. Oh, this is an easy one. Gable, White, Kassar, Desi. Desi,
Desi.
shout it from the mountaintops in search of Basquatch.
1, 2, 3.
Desi.
Desi.
Hey, can we?
That did not come off good.
Conan Jennings' hit list is
Conan-
kind of absurd.
Both hit lists. The people who have hit him and who he's hit, that needs to be an article. It may be a flow film. The legend of Conan Jennings.
This
People are asking-
fella.
It starts with Drew Periano mic'd up telling him he has big arms.
It goes back to Periano. Oh man, I can't believe Periano coached Conan Jennings
It was like his true freshman year he was there.
back when he was
And
not.
Periano said, "Hey, Jennings, you have huge
I mean,
arms."
He was like trying to show technique on him, and like he's like, man, you got some long arms. He's like, we just gotta put some muscles on him or something. It was funny.
I mean, Conan Jennings last year got pinned by Gage Hutchison in 27 seconds and lost to the Deuce.
Yeah, dude.
Don't.
He got arm spun.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Because it's
Why are we
absurd.
Conan Jennings is
He is the most. He has to be the hardest person to rank in the entire country.
yeah, it's true. And you get what you get, Conan, but on both sides. Now, here's a tough one. Top 4. We're going all the rankings, pound for pound, most least likely to place.
Oh,
Nolf, Nickel, Hall, or Chenzo? It's I'll say Chenzo. His weight's hard.
Nick has Jennings on his fantasy team, by the way.
Of course he does.
selfishness.
Selfish Nick has
Selfish Nick.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying Chenzo's the least likely pound for pound guy to place.
Want to go big board? Put those guys.
No.
Most least likely to
Come on,
place.
go do this. It's a joke. Do
Chenzo.
this
It's
quick.
Chenzo. I don't know. They're all gonna freaking win.
All right, shots fired at Chenzo. Willie, shoot a fire.
I don't know what the question is because I was looking up Conan Jennings stats.
We're doing pound for pound least top 4 least likely to place. We're doing all top
Pound for
4.
pound?
Yeah, it's Nolf, Nickel, Chenzo, Hall.
No. This is stupid.
It seems really stupid because like Nomad said, they're all gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm going Nickel. I'm changing it. But no, Chenzo is definitely the least likely. It's likelihood, guys. Bunch of babies. Okay. Next ones. That was a good question. See, wasn't that a great question, Willie?
That was a great question.
All right. Well, you were poo-pooing it halfway through, but then you learned to love it. All right. Other questions here. What are the odds that Flo adds a forum/classified section? I don't know what classifieds would mean. Does that mean like Craigslist? But
Job openings.
Check out flowsports.tv for those.
Waffle House is hiring a line cook. You find that on Flow. I don't know what classified. We have a used sofa for sale.
I got a desk chair I'm not using anymore.
So I don't. Patrick Fitz. I'm not sure about the classified section, but I can safely say that forums have been discussed. I think they're going to bring back comments.
I hope not.
I kind of hope not too.
Well,
What are you talking about?
okay. Here's an interesting thing about the comment section. Everyone thinks that we got rid of comments like as some like we were tired of hearing from people or something. It was totally like an engineering, like the infrastructure change of like how the site was built. No one like asked for comments to go away. It's just like, all right, we switched over platforms and they're like, we can't do Hal's comments anymore right now.
There was one guy on the mat.com that on 2 different occasions started a thread about it, and on several other occasions interrupted threads and said that we did away with comments because we do not like negative feedback. And he had this whole big conspiracy theory. He's like, I called them. They said we're going to bring them back sometime, and they haven't yet. And they're liars. They don't like to hear criticism.
Yeah.
I love
hilarious.
comments.
Yeah, I want them
love
back.
comments.
We have a standing like meeting with the product team, and like pretty frequently we'll be up like, can we get comments back? That would be awesome. We would like comments back, but they're like, well, maybe. And remember, we have
They're
like
never
25. We have like 25. Like, no, they talked about it very recently, Willie.
No, I'm saying they're never gonna. Yeah, they're gonna bring back comments. I'm confident.
They're never
have
gonna
zero confidence that they would do message boards.
Oh, I don't know. Premium message boards. If you put it behind the paywall, they might.
Yeah, right. I've been begging for message boards to no avail since before I even worked there.
Well, things are changing.
I actually like if you have a pro account can you comment.
No, that's what it's going to be, I think.
Because then there are a lot of people on Instagram who aren't customers.
He's yelling right
They're
now.
just followers. They just follow our Instagram and they're jerk offs. Okay?
Let 'em go.
So sorry that we might have blocked a few a-hole 14-year-olds who don't subscribe to the thing.
Dan.
So if you subscribe to Flow
Dan.
and you want to comment and you want to leave criticism and you want to say negative things or say positive things, great. Because then you're actually contributing. If you're a jagoff on Instagram, go to hell.
Oh my gosh! He just eternal damnation. Okay.
Yes.
You got no. Well,
Atta
I mean,
boy.
to his point, Joe Kania, he puts out on the Instagram predict the top 3 at Big Ten. Dayton Fix is in 80% of the Instagram predictions.
On Twitter too. If you want to see how just out of touch wrestling fans are, just whenever we post who's going to win Big Tens, who will be seated what at Big Tens, whatever, Dayton Fix is in like every single one.
I got Yanni.
Yeah.
Someone said Sebastian Rivera. I'm not kidding.
Hey, now he wrestled one match. You can't rule it out.
That's a good point. So apologize, Kyle. Your Instagram it's a horrible, horrible place, and there's more people joining that page every time I look. We have another 1,000 followers. It's out of control. They're not the right people either. None of them. I bet there's 14 people from Instagram that are watching this show. They need to get on there. We need to figure out a way to live stream this show to Instagram so that they can learn something.
Get educated. Yeah.
Get educated. Yeah. They don't even know conferences.
That's the other thing too. FRL's free.
It's free.
I get whatever you can't afford. You don't want to pay whatever. That's fine.
We should lock it up.
But man, a lot of those ingrates are not. They're not customers.
At least they're now just ingrates.
No man told him to go to hell.
Go to hell. Go directly to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
And it's not even about like criticism of like any of us. It's just like literally they're just dumb. They're just idiots.
Yeah.
They're not intelligent people.
We should post this on Instagram.
With not even not intelligent people, but like no desire to be intelligent. Like they want to be disruptive jerk-offs. And that is a really sad way to live life.
It's sad. It's so sad.
Dude, I have never been prouder of you, Nomad. I love Raging Nomad.
Yeah. I love that we just like routinely insult potential customers, but it needs said.
Those aren't potential customers.
No, they're not. They don't even have credit cards.
The people
They don't
who
have jobs.
the people who
They
are
don't have
willfully
jobs.
ignorant do not want to be customers.
You know what? You're right. Hey,
Plenty of
There's
people ask
sophomores in high
legitimate
school.
questions on Instagram, and we try to educate them. And plenty of people are combative, but are at least intelligent
yes.
and like have thought out viewpoints.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here's something Nomad would say at Nomad_say. Why didn't you take the opportunity to criticize the 2-point takedown when discussing the 3-to-1 ratio between? It was actually 3-to-0 ratio between Yanni and McKenna. I don't know, because we bring it up all the time. Do we have to say it every time? Ben Askren whines. Mainly, it's his fight week. I don't want to distract him. He's like, why do you always complain about this? Quit whining. So you know what? I'm not going to whine this one time. Just for Askren, I want him focused on Lawler, not mad at us online. So that's why at Nomad_say. But yes, of course, they need to change it, and it's stupid and whatever. But don't go to hell, any of you.
I'll see you in hell.
9:25. I'm looking for, let's go round table. You guys have anything before we go?
No,
I do.
Kolov semi is getting ready to start.
Okay, this is working out perfectly.
They just had some dancers out there for the opening ceremonies, but
Classic.
we
the
missed-
mats have now been cleared.
Big mistake, us not being able to cut to, Kolov semis and opening ceremonies at any point in time on FRL. So we need Museplosion and we need Kolov dancers next time.
Is there a mascot involved?
No mascot. It just looked like a bunch of dancers.
I could see a giant ferret or something one of these times.
The ages
The
old Bulgarian ferret.
Bulgarian ferret.
Real quick, there's a Twitter account, and I forget what it's called. It's like
At Bulgarian ferret.
yeah, at Bulgarian ferret. No, it's like mascots. Oh, it's mascots minute silence. Daggone it.
It's hilarious.
It's like the most ridiculous soccer mascots you've ever seen in your life when they're doing the national anthems or like moments of silence. Please look it up. It's not hard to find. Mascots minute silence. There's only like 20 posts. You can go through it in 40 seconds. It's great.
Tweet that link.
Just retweet it.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
everyone
really
go follow
funny.
it.
That's hilarious. Okay. Willie, what you got?
Nothing. We'll hit it next episode.
Oh,
Let's
next
go watch
episode.
Kolov.
That's a classic tease. All right, Brad, in the control room command center.
You want me to tease it?
Yeah, tease it.
What's the difference between Spencer and Zahid this year?
Oh,
We'll talk about it next episode.
it would have really sucked to talk about that on this episode.
Yeah, why didn't we talk about that on
Yeah,
this
that would have been
episode?
great. We went 48 minutes on whatever, the octopus and
Hey.
bat squatch.
Piss off. That's good stuff.
Oh my, you're right, Bracky. I'm sorry.
Oh, for those of you watching live, allocations come out today.
Ooh.
That's actually important.
It's actually important. We're glad we're getting to that.
And
on the
we
sign-off.
we won't have Big Ten pre-seeds by next show. Sorry.
Well, we'll just make them up. We'll just say they.
We did make them up. I did do that.
We'll remake them
We'll
up.
have 3
Yeah.
preseason.
We will have post-seed predictions, though.
Post-seed predictions are coming. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. Quick reminder. Ben Askren the Funk tomorrow, live only at noon and live only at 7. It's the only way you can watch.
Central.
Those are the real Central time. You can always assume the Central with us because we are Central time. We make you conform to our time zone. It will go up on demand on Saturday. If you are foolish enough to want to wait, fine, you can do that. Ben Askren the Funk, Flow Film, coming soon. We will be back next Tuesday. I think everyone will be here, I do believe. And then Thursday, what are we going to do?
Yeah, Thursday might be an issue.
Leaving on a jet plane. We need to do this Wednesday.
Emergency Wednesday FRL.
Emergency Wednesday? Because Thursday, I'm at Hershey, so I can't.
All right, we're going to have to do emergency.
We leave Thursday for Minneapolis, but I don't know what time.
Naptown. Yep, we're going to have to figure it out.
We'll consult the Bulgarian ferret. And figure it
Tuesday,
out,
Wednesday,
guys.
we'll get the ferret on the horn.
Me and Nomad, next Wednesday, Nomad PA preview, bro.
Oh, yeah.
FRL.
I'm going to be in the studio all day.
Big studio day. Thanks a lot, guys. See you Tuesday.